cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off in the fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What is up, everybody? Hopefully some people come on here since I just did a pop-up. How's it going? I'm never on this late. Sunday morning for Davey. Bree, what's up? So as I sit there, I have all kinds of things rolling around in my head on the Madeline Soto case. Now, let me share this before the post maybe disappears. All right, y'all, check this out. There's two sides to the family, and there's always going to be two sides to the story. We have the Soto family, and we have the Wallace family. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with this post only because this is a private Facebook group, and it's private, so y'all can't see it unless you're part of it. There was a note up earlier. It got taken down, but guess what? If you're at the memorial, now CM, if you can hear me, and I'm going to call you later, I'm going to have a talk with CM, who's the roommate. She wants to come on next week. She has a lot to say. Now, she was supposed to film the memorial. She's supposed to film the memorial for me later, find the guilty of crime locks. But what I want to address, first of all, is Madeline Soto. Maddie Soto would want peace. So let me show you this page. I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see it. I'll say hi to everyone. I don't want this post to go away. The letter went away. Now, here's the breaking news on this. The Soto family is visiting the memorial. All right. So that's good. Now, remember, we're going to go over the body cam with Dr. G explaining. It just came out 31 minutes ago, and we're going to go over it together as I wait for Deception Detective, who also, if you ask, you shall receive, did the body cam analysis. I'm going to say hello. Thank you all for coming on short notice. David, Cindy, Ariana, Meow, Holly James. How's everything tonight? Everything's great. As I sit there and watch YouTube, I'm watching a bunch of content that it's really, there's a lot of drama going on, and I'm not about that drama. So when I come on and I talk, I have something to say. It's because I have something to say that's real content. Now, you all know that at this point, you should know that I'm connected to this case by many different sources and many people. All right. So I can't always say what's up, Rosebud, Mama Ruckus, Christine Pitt, Pit Lover 66. All right. So when I'm on now I'm on Facebook, but when I'm on YouTube and I'm watching just a bunch of drama and no real content, it drives me nuts when I have all the content right here. All right. So right now we're looking at this. I'm going to read it real quick. You all know that I don't work with her, but Jenny Esquivel Mendez has been on my site. She's an industrial organizational psychologist and firefighter EMS. She's also the advocate for the Wallace family. Tyler and Tatiana Wallace, specifically, they lost Madeline Soto, okay? So they're not the only ones that lost Maddie. The Soto family did. And you all, yes, please smash that like button as you come in. Let's get in the algorithm. That's why we love you. No drama. That's why I'm here. I want to create a little bit of peace without people getting upset. I wish I had the note, but I don't want to scare the family away. So I'm kind of glad they took it down. So I'll show you a little bit. We'll go through there's the Justice for Madeline Soto page, and it's a private page. There's about 10,800 people. They closed it because there was so much on here. Now, remember, Jenny is the advocate that's been on our show. And she made a post that says there will be no tolerance for disrespect on the following post. Now, this was about somebody I'm going to say somebody from the Soto family going to the memorial site and posting a note. Hello to everybody as you come in. I did a pop-up live. Now, so far, it's only been the Wallace family that's gone, that we've seen in public, that we've seen in interviews. It's been quiet from Jennifer Soto's side. Now, we just saw them in the body cam and we're going to see them again. I'll point out the people that we know, but somebody from the Soto family went and nobody noticed. All right. So here's the post about this. If there's one thing I've learned throughout this process is the truthfulness behind that saying goes in the lines, no one knows how heavy hidden pain could be till you get it firsthand exposure. As we know, Maddie had two blood families, the Wallaces and the Sotos. I'm sure both families have been going through their own pains, challenges, and grievances. While we all have the right to our own views and opinions, myself included, the main goal is always to serve Maddie in the most rightful way. She deserves it and much more. Is it difficult? Absolutely. Can we do it? Most definitely. The thing is, human loss challenge ourselves in so many ways, so many areas, especially growing out of old ways to acquire positions we never thought possible. With that being said, human compassion is an emotion that should ideally be kept at an all-time high. In fact, for lack of human compassion, we walk down every obscure and sinister path in life, leading us to irreparable human losses and historic narratives that should never, ever be repeated. I'm taking the leap of faith on this one and planting the seed to see if we can all come together and understanding there are members from Maddie's side of her family, which are the Sotos, Jennifer Soto specifically, her family, that are going through immense pain, being challenged day in, day out in numerous respects to include personal safety. I suppose it would be so devastating for one's life to change so wildly, not only by losing a precious family member, but for one's life to be upside down, scrutinized, deconstructed, and not having the ability to do anything to change things. Right. And you know where this is coming from. I'm showing you the post so you know what I'm referring to. I'm referring to a Soto family member going to the memorial and number one, not being noticed. That's interesting. It did get noticed pretty quickly. Now, thank you, Jojo, for show. As I read this, these are not my words. I assume that this is because if you go back up, it says about people's safety. All right. So the Soto family's also lost Maddie. They've essentially lost Jen, even if she gets zero charges, which I don't know that's going to happen, but she's going to have to hide. Her life's going to change. If she would have went to the funeral, people would attack her. If she goes to the memorial, people are going to attack her. If she went to the memorial and somebody saw her, people are going to attack her. So somebody went from the Soto side, went to the memorial and left a note. All right. And the note was here, but it got removed. It's no longer available. It was there earlier for me to read. And it was a love letter to Maddie from a Soto member, particularly, which I'm not going to call out their name. I was asked not to. All right. So what we're trying to do is have compassion. I suppose it's devastating and your life changes, losing a family member, but there's one life that's upside down. You're scrutinized, deconstructed, not having the ability to do anything. And personal safety must be a nightmare. This page became a community journal from which we could positively learn hard lessons about the power of collectivity, unison, humanism, human suffering, the human factor, humility, love, forgiveness, and compassion. I'm not asking you to forgive Jennifer Soto by any means. Thank you, Valerie Lee, for the super sticker. Holly Jones, I can't wait for Jen to be charged. Hashtag justice for Maddie. You're absolutely right. Justice for Maddie. And I'm glad that you got chills because this message came to me I feel from Maddie. I got the call today before the show earlier. I can't tell you from who. I wish I could tell you the whole entire story, but I can't. I'm telling you what I can. So, I'm going to continue reading it. This is from Maddie's page, Justice for Madeline Soto. And I believe that when you pass over into the next life, you absolutely don't have suffering, you don't have pain, you're not hurting anymore, and forgiveness is probably something that is just a natural thing. So I don't think Maddie would want people attacking her mom if she went to the site and left a note, or an aunt or whoever came from the Soto family. All right. So what I'm just trying to do is read this letter to you and just have compassion for the Soto family. I'm not asking for compassion for Jen. We're asking for compassion for whoever left that note that wanted Maddie to see it or feel her presence. I'm deeply sorry you all had to go through this and cannot imagine what days are like. You will be in my prayers. I'm deeply sorry if my views on Jennifer Soto created a bigger hole in your heart, and can only pray you find common ground, the same one I'm finding in understanding and respecting your pains. So, to that, can you understand my stance as your niece's community based advocate? God willing, it be like that. Shake hands. Thank you for acknowledging our hard labor and appreciating it. I promise the right people with the right heart are here and behind it. Thank you for always reading me. And then the content here that's not available any longer was a note from the Soto family. I can't say who, but we know that they visited the memorial, and we're trying to have compassion and not attack them. I just happened to come on this live. Glad I did. Yeah, I just popped up here because I have too many things in my head. CM also visited the memorial today, and she's not the one that called me. She called me, and she wants to be on the show next week and talk about all that's happened. But we know the Soto family is visiting not only my page, I believe. I think they watch my lives. There's people that come on and tell me when we're doing a live about Jen Soto, they totally stick up for Jennifer Soto. They say you're going to be surprised when court happens and you hear everything. I believe they're watching all of us. Their family's watching what happens, and I do understand that. What's up, New Orleans? Thank you for the amazing coverage on the case. Justice for Maddie, and that's what we're about tonight is justice for Maddie. All right. If you want more justice for Maddie and you want more people to come to my page and more people to contact me and have a personal level with better interviews and more people, hit that like button, folks. Get us in the algorithm. Okay. So there was a letter that was left there. I'll go through the page for a little bit since you all don't have access to this page. There's comments here we can read. All right. There have been people on here that have shown disrespect towards the Wallaces and the Sotos other than Jen Soto. Are you not wanting people to talk about her deeds? And then Jenny says that was not what I intended, but yes, there are members that have expressed their views respecting both families. Leave it to God's feet. He will carry you through. What's done in the darkness will come to light. Stand on Romans 12:19. I'll be praying for you and for justice. Maddie is with Papa now. Look at this. You see this name, Virginia Soto Meyer. Should I make this bigger so you can see that the Soto family is there? And I believe the Soto family is on our page as well. Hello, everybody. Justice for Maddie, Christina Guajardo Rodriguez. Wow, Maddie saving her mom. Well, Maddie is an angel now, and we know that. And I don't think she wants this kind of fighting and scrutiny. I still say hashtag arrest Jen Soto. I wouldn't want anybody to attack her by any means. Hello, woman with a purpose, 59 wounded butterfly. Hey, oh, hey. Yeah, so we're still going to get into some new analysis of the body cam that just came out 35 minutes ago now. but I want you to hear these words, and thank you, Jojo. I want you to feel, what's up, Alara? I want you to feel what I feel when I hear this. And I know that the family is on my page listening. They're hearing everything. I know the family's hurting. The family didn't do it. And the family of the Soto certainly didn't hand Maddie over. So I could see somebody from the Soto family right here, as a matter of fact. Virginia Soto Meyer. Maddie's with Papa now, which means obviously it's somebody from the Soto family. Behind you, as many others, justice for Maddie. Everything darkness will come to light again. One thing is certain, we're all human with feelings, and sometimes it's hard to keep things above water. It's challenging to keep our opinions to ourselves, especially when it comes to being so evil and that people it affects the most. We need to concentrate on justice for beautiful Maddie and pray for anyone who's involved in this senseless murder held accountable. Thanks, Jenny. I know you and your other ladies are putting your heart and soul in everything. I can see what's in the box before your text above. We can't see it because it's not available anymore, but it was a note from the Soto family. They must have snuck out there and did that. There's the page. Yeah, Plunder was a good one. You say Plunder was curious. It's not the Plunder one. Plunder we can play if you want as well. Plunder, it was curious about the files. Maybe the body cam was shut off on the officer, but she's going to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, I saw that. If you guys want me to play that also, I can do that. I'm here for you right now. We're here for justice for Maddie, and it's almost 10 o'clock my time. Other people from other countries are in the morning. Yeah, about the body cam. We're going to do the analysis on that, but it is about the body cam. Yeah, I saw that as well. I see everything that comes on here about Maddie. Great job, Jay. Justice for Maddie. All right. So a lot of you don't have access to this Madeline Soto page. And I appreciate you being here and hearing me out about this being, now there's 10.7 thousand members, but it's a private page nonetheless. And the Soto family's on here. The Wallace family's on here. All right. So whether you share DM or publicly, it's still a third-degree felony to distribute crime scene content such as photo of a minor. I don't know what happened here. It looks like maybe there's something going on. I'm not going to get into the drama. I'm here for Maddie. It's disrespectful for someone to share disturbing pictures. Again, I'm going to stay out of the drama. People are on this page and they want justice for Maddie, and so do we, just as bad. All right. And people have questions. Anyone noticed in the police cam footage of the initial interview when the officer asked what devices Madeline had with her, Jen said just the laptop. The officer then asked if the laptop was traceable. Jen said she didn't know. A family member then suggested it maybe connect to something in the area and show activity. In that instance, that very worried facial expression appeared and rocking started. Go back and watch everything. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that with a brand new Dr. G video. And I want you all to find it in your hearts to not attack the Soto family. I have a handful of cases I'm on top of. Yeah, me too. And I appreciate I got your email. I just haven't had the brain capacity yet. I feel like Jen had them there without the family's knowledge. I agree, Cynthia fed stories. California, baby. Adriana Gonzaga. Yeah, and I do kind of want to clear up that body cam footage stuff as well. So that being said, I think I addressed the justice for Maddie. It doesn't seem like anyone has any questions. I wish I had the note, but I don't want to scare the family off by any means. I don't want to scare them off. And if you're at the memorial CM and if you're watching my video, you can hear me. You can certainly see the note and relate when you come back on here what it is that it's all about. All right. So this is the page, and it's all about getting justice for Maddie, and that's what we're here for. That's why I'm not doing Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to do one more episode next week to talk about the things that are real, and I'm not going to talk about the things that our drama. She knew exactly what happened. That's why she did the face. Well, we're going to go over that. And then we're going to go over it again with Deception Detective when it comes out. All right. So why don't we do that now? And then if you want, I'd like to go over the Paula Plunder video since I actually received my videos from Paula at Plunder. All right. So when she talks about those videos, she's talking about the videos we use too. We're missing videos here, and there were 8 videos. But I also want you guys to know something else, that those videos were fantastic. I appreciate Plunder. She could have charged me or asked for money, and she didn't. She's all about helping the small channels. And I released all 8 of those. You know why I released all 8 of them? Was so that people like myself don't have to pay for things like that. What's up, Kenzie Sush? I haven't seen Kush. I haven't seen you in a while. Great Britain, I'm assuming. Alamo, Texas. Y'all are so great tonight. I'm glad to have you all in here. There's 233 people. If you hit that like, now there's 236. Hit the like button and make sure you have all notifications. I have the roommate roaring, wanting to come back on here, folks. And that's the only person that's talked from the Soto side at all has been the roommate. I should text her right now, as a matter of fact. And tell her that we're live. Sometimes she fills me in on stuff. She's able to film it, and we were supposed to have a talk tonight, so let me just let her know. Let me let her know. Hello, CM. We are live tonight. If you're listening, let me know if you went to the memorial today. Thank you. And let's talk about our show next week. All right, so we're going to have a show again. CM's going to come on in her own voice. And I wish you all could see her. She's an amazing person, and I have a lot of respect for her. New York's in the house. That means it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Y'all are party animals, aren't you? 11:51. All right, folks. This video just dropped. You probably haven't seen it. Let's watch it together. It gives you a different perspective. It gave me a different perspective. Only thing you could do for me right now to help me is hit that like button. You know that I'm moving out of my house. Well, I already partially moved out, and I have to come back and forth to film. My roof fell in, yada yada. Doesn't matter. This is about Maddie. Good morning from Finland to all. Love to watch your channel. Bought my first membership. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you caught us live. Glad I didn't miss this. Definitely got to go watch the video. I'm from New York. They were insurance company when making contact. Yeah, they were. They're at the, it's not even, it's weird. It's an insurance and tax company, and they have a bunch of DBAs doing business as. So again, I don't want to attack any families, but yeah, I'm a vampire from what numerous people have asked me. So you just don't sleep, or you sleep during the day. Interesting. I love Finland. All right. Let's watch this together, folks. And I'll make it bigger for you if you want, if you need to see that video. I don't know who's watched this and who hasn't. Let's go.
I'm a licensed clinical psychologist
And you guys all know Dr. G. I hope this video just dropped before I came on here. Thank you, Nora J. I love your channel. Don't let me forget before we get off the show. I just got my merch store up, and we have some pretty cool new things up. I know it's not much. I have a new logo coming out, but it's nice to sport Guilty of Crime. We got a new I didn't even see that. We got a new tank top. We got a new hoodie. It comes in different colors. We got some Guilty of Crime stickers, mugs, and a bucket hat. So if you want to stay on and see it with me, I'll show it to you. It's going to be up. I posted in the community. You can buy them now. They're pretty dope, in my opinion. So it's nice to have merch. We hit that 10,000 mark, and that's why we're able to do that. All right, folks. Let's watch this together. I bet you nobody's seen this yet since it just came out.
body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing more behavior and body language of Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stearns. Stephen Stearns has been accused of and is currently facing first-degree murder charges of Madeline Soto, the 13-year-old daughter of Jennifer Soto. Before we get started with this analysis, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, the goal is not to prove guilt nor innocence. I'm just providing commentary based on their behavior and their body language. Last thing before we get started is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be looking at today is...
And we love Dr. G. And the reason I made it so big is because I want, when he's doing the body analysis and he hadn't seen the footage yet, I want you to be able to see every little detail that he's talking about. Otherwise, I normally don't do full screen like this.
Police body cam footage from the night that Madeline Soto went missing. Let's just jump right in.
Of course. Do they speak English?
Yes, this is mom.
This is mom? Okay. Hi there.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So my daughter was dropped off.
Now you'll notice the first thing that happened was that Jennifer Soto engaged with police, seemed somewhat eager to talk to them, whereas Stephen Stearns was turned away. Watch this part right here. I'll break it down.
Hi there.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So when somebody's concerned about how they're coming across, they're going to be putting a lot of thought into their behavior. Continue to watch this. You'll see the first thing he did, like I said, was turn away from police. First thing she did was engage.
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning.
And then he gets very fidgety with his body language. Looks like he first wants to put his hands in his pockets, then crosses his arms,
but never made it.
adjusting his hat. He seems unsettled because when somebody is trying to hide something, they're very aware of their body language. Oftentimes they want to come across a certain way. So he's trying to make sure that he comes across how he wants. It puts him in an anxious position. So drinking water, turning away, fidgeting around, not sure how he wants to look.
Dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second. Go ahead, sir.
Are we looking for another kid or we have a kid?
Looking for another one.
All right, so I kind of want to clear it up that day. If those of you that have watched this don't know, a lot of people were a little bit irritated that it took them so long. And thank you. Protect our angels. Absolutely right. Protect our angels. They're up above. Laura, I'm going to do this right after because Plunder released an interesting video of the body cam, and I had that body cam. That's a body cam that I got from her. So I was going to show that after and talk about the missing body cam that I have. That's the only reason I was going to address it, because maybe we might get some different footage. Yeah, crossed arms, all good. And I always love a crime to remember. What's up, beautiful people? The crime crew is extra sexy, aren't they? Every one of y'all are some good looking, beautiful people around here. I know that. All right, let's go.
Let's put that out in possible location. How old?
So as you can see, Jennifer Soto's waving back and forth. There's a lot of stress and anxious energy. Now, there's the difference between that and something like what Stephen Stearns is showing, is that Stephen Stearns seems to be doing a lot of impression management. He seems to be concerned with how he appears, where she appears anxious. It's a little bit different. So if you watch my previous video about Jennifer Soto, I commented on the fact that there are times where her body language and her behavior seems a little odd, but she doesn't seem suspicious in a sense, at least not to me. I know a lot of people feel like she is. I personally don't. And I think that her behavior right now is fairly natural for what you'd expect for a situation like this.
I'm trying to get there right now. Absolutely. Okay. So
one of the differences you're going to see with Stephen Stearns as he's standing right here, though, as she's waving back and forth, is he is standing remarkably still. As I said, he was a little fidgety before, but he is standing very, very still. He does a lot of this. And oftentimes we think of this as being potentially a way to hide.
She was supposed to be dropped off at school. Didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today, and
So as you may have noticed, she actually stepped towards police, and that's a way to engage emotionally. It's a way to connect. So she really does have information she wants the police to hear right now. She also raised her eyebrows up. That's another way for the police to focus on her face. Stephen Stearns, on the other hand, very well could be continuing whatever conversation he's having on the phone in order to remain as invisible as possible.
Dropped off at school. Didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today, and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office. I came here.
So as you can see, he's standing as still as possible, even awkwardly so, in order to avoid having to be asked questions or in order to avoid being noticed. Like I said, he's been a little fidgety at times, but I think when he's intentional about it, he really does try to be very still.
And I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office. I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that.
And as you can see, he put his head up, he sort of covers his face. He really does.
I mean, we already know he's completely guilty. So when we focus on him, it's like, come on, we already know that. We know that he's not saying much. He doesn't want to say much. I mean, he just dumped her body wherever he could because of that flat tire from up above. Once again, God's good grace made that happen. They would not have found her body out there. It might have taken a while because nobody just goes out there. So thank the Lord, God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, above.
One up here invisible right now, I think. He's got his arms crossed. Now, the crossing arms, this is a tough one because a lot of people cross their arms comfortably when they're talking. That's just a natural sort of behavior. But it can also indicate that somebody's closing themselves off. He's not necessarily doing that, but that's one of those that can have multiple interpretations.
Nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not.
And you can also see that Stefan Stearns is watching her, not looking at the police officer. So he's going to do what he can to avoid having attention focused on him. He's going to do everything he can to just try to blend in as much as he can in a situation like this.
At school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
Okay. What's her name?
Madeline. Madeline.
Madeline. Last name?
Soto. Soto.
Soto.
Now, one thing you may also be noticing is that Jennifer Soto does this a lot. Now, I've talked about in other videos that when people withdraw their lips, it's oftentimes an attempt to not say something. However, she does this so much, it just seems to be a part of her baseline. That may be how she manages stress. That may just be part of how she processes stressful and anxiety-provoking situations. But it doesn't seem to be a pattern of when she's asked questions where she would have something to hide, that she withdraws her lips. That's when we pay more attention to it. To me, this just seems to be part of almost like when she was swaying back and forth. It seems to be an anxiety response more so than a response to what is being asked.
Now, you got to remember here, we all already know one thing. Stefan's guilty for sure. Well, innocent until proven guilty. He has been indicted of these things, right? Number two, we know that this story is recited. Jennifer Soto, if she was not there and she was actually sleeping like she said she was, had to have gotten this story from Stefan Stearns. And it does go back and forth with the we and they talk like they're partners, and the whole stepdad thing comes out. Had they known that that was an ex-boyfriend or an off and on boyfriend, they probably would have looked at him even closer right away. But this is a rehearsed story, no matter what you say about the Soto family. I know that they care. I know even Jen probably is hurting deep down that what she did and her mistakes that she made, but this is a rehearsed story that hindered the investigation. All right. So that's why she's so closed off, because she knows that she wasn't either. If she was there, she's guilty as hell. If she wasn't there, she's reciting a story that Stefan Stearns gave her that we know is the murder and main essay person. Thank you. I appreciate when you guys understand what I'm trying to say and agree. And even if you're her family and you're on here watching, I'm trying to be as respectful as I can and tell the truth at the same time. I'm not going to hide the truth because you're watching, but I will be respectful. That's the truth. She's reciting the story that he said.
Name?
Soto. Soto.
Soto.
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
11.
That too.
13.
What's the name of the single aid?
Madeline Soto, age 13. I'm trying to get a clothing description out.
See, like I said, with the lips, she was pressing them together just now, but I think that's more of a way to manage anxiety, not as much a response to what she's been asked about.
She last seen wearing.
Now watch Stefan Stearns' reaction when the officer is getting a message through his walkie-talkie.
What was she last seen wearing?
So did you see he almost looked startled? He wanted to hear what was being said. I think at this point, he's paying really close attention to what the police know. And so when there was something coming through that seemed to catch him off guard and he really wanted to listen, he stopped talking immediately. Whereas Jennifer Soto,
well, the reason he stopped listening is because he was waiting for it to come through as they found a body. He had no idea. I'm sure he knew that people saw him changing the flat, but he had no idea what capacity, and that someone actually turned it in. That guy's an angel too. Davey, you're right. Absolutely right. I'm playing devil's advocate. It can depend on how Jen grew up herself. We don't know what abuse was in the family. I'm not justifying it. It's not right. Never would I send my daughter to bed with a man that's into FetLife and kinky stuff that I'm off and on with, or anyone for that matter. But Davey, you're playing devil's advocate. You're absolutely right. And I'm talking about the Soto family. She should have been with anyone else but Jen. Why didn't the grandma take her? Why didn't Stephanie in the background take her? I send my love to the Soto family and the person that went out there and put the note out there. I respect you, and I respect that you didn't get attacked for doing so. Yeah, agreed. That could be too. That could be too. That's still neglect, however.
Soto had essentially no reaction. Watch this one more time. It's pretty interesting.
What's she last seen wearing?
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts.
Yeah.
Black shorts.
Okay, again, I gotta call it out every single time. She corrected Stefan and said she was wearing black shorts. In fact, there's no way she could have seen Maddie. There's no possible way she could have seen Maddie wearing black shorts that morning unless she was part of the crime or reciting the story. Okay? So those are the only two things that she could have seen because Maddie was already passed away by the time that the cameras caught her in the car, and they would have had to have dressed her because she was already passed and she couldn't have dressed herself unless she dressed herself and then they did that. In that case, she still wouldn't have been able to see what she was wearing, and I don't know how she corrected him.
Shorts. All right.
You'll notice how Stefan Stearns repeated black shorts as a question. In other words, deferring to her, saying that she essentially implying she's the one that would know. So he's just trying to once again blend in with the background.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts.
Yeah.
Black shorts. Okay. Black shorts. All right. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
I asked all of them.
Okay. Is this like, did she like have any places that you guys know that she would usually be at? Any friend's house? Any places that like she likes to hang out?
Typically.
No.
Not typically. Okay. Just give me. Can you airdrop it to me?
Now, the footage we have is fantastic. So go back. If you don't want to hear me, you can go back and watch part 1 through 8, labeled part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's really, it's not 4K because they wouldn't let us have that from on where we downloaded it from, but it is 1080p. So it's really good footage. None of it's blurred out. I'm not sure why Dr. G has the blurred out version here, but doesn't matter. Go back and watch the real version on my channel. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Let me see which picture. I don't know which picture.
And you'll notice how far away Stefan Stearns is staying. He's not going to want to get any closer to the police than he has to. Once again, he's going to do his best as he can to blend into the background, but to still be participating as much as he would be expected to.
Probably from the birthday party, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't there, so I have to look at.
Once again, watching what she's doing. He's not going to look around. He's not going to try to engage with the police. He's not going to provide additional information. He's not going to do anything that he doesn't have to do.
Why did you say she have a phone number or phone?
She does, but she left it at home today. I have it.
You have it.
And I've already gone through her messages.
Okay.
Now, if you look at Jennifer Soto's behavior so far, she's open, she's engaged, she's stepping towards the officer, she's looking the officer in the eye. She's doing a lot of behaviors that we do tend to associate with someone who's telling the truth. So as much as people are suspicious of her, there has not been any suspicious body language from her so far on this video.
How about, did she have like Apple?
And I'm not saying that I agree with Dr. G on this one. I'm just telling you this video just came out right before I came on, and I wanted you to hear it. We're playing devil's advocate. We're making peace and making sure that if the Soto family goes to the memorial, somebody doesn't attack them. If you see somebody that's in the background there, they're from the Soto family, leaving a note, let them be. All right, just let them show their love for Maddie. It's about justice for Maddie, and Maddie is no longer with us, and she wouldn't want us fighting. I don't think when you pass to the other side that any of that stuff matters anymore. Everything's done.
Watch.
She's got a device. The only device she's got on her right now is her school laptop.
Now you'll notice Stephen Stern's in the background. He's doing whatever he can to stay distracted, to be naturally trying to interact with other people, but to not be engaged and to not be asked questions, doing whatever he can to try to not be the center of attention right here.
Oh, is that trackable? Yeah, I think so.
It should be. If the Wi-Fi's turned on, it'll try to connect to the Wi-Fi. So if I like circle here. You're gonna send you possibly. I don't know. She got dropped off. She was like,
So you're seeing her once again swaying back and forth, a distinct sign of anxiety, but she's also very open. She's using her hands to talk. She's engaging with people. There are not signs of hiding things or deception in this situation, at least not so far.
so she's embarrassed by his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
Now look at how low his hands are. Now one hand is on his hip, so it's a sort of halfway committed attempt at being a little bit dominant, because oftentimes when people put their hands on their hips, it's an attempt to take up more space, to appear somewhat dominant. He's kind of halfway doing that. His hand moved up just a little bit when he's talking. It continues to be that awareness that he doesn't want to bring too much attention to himself.
Dropped off like half a block away so she can walk. But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
And see, he immediately looked away after he talked. He talked, disengaged, was trying to let her take points so that he can continue to blend in, as I said.
Okay. Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called school.
She was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got her walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
Okay.
Neil, notice he's standing behind Jennifer Soto this whole time, so he probably feels a little bit more confident.
I don't think he feels confident at all. And I do see his man boobs there. He's a disgusting devil. This man is the devil himself. We now know he's charged with that. Every time I see his full body shot, the pants he's wearing, I cannot help but notice when men wear pants like that, you kind of see their package area. And I want to take that and I want to castrate him. And I do have a USA Today story that Bree sent over talking about Louisiana lawmakers do approve the bill to allow surgical castration. I know it's not the end all be all, but that would be fantastic if SA crimes with victims under the age of 13, when that happens, they're surgically castrated. Oh man, could you imagine that? How many people would be walking around with a label of an SA offender and castrated? Oh boy.
Being that disengaged, having her as a buffer between himself and the officer as he talks about this.
Over in that direction, it looked the same as any other morning. Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she went to school.
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it, but I also spoke to her or emailed her teachers directly, and he looked at all her attendance.
You see, she keeps raising her eyebrows up. She wants people to listen to what she's saying. She is trying to provide information. So I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with the way that she's presented. I know a lot of people think that she's not telling the truth about these things, but a lot of her body language, once again, very consistent with somebody who is engaged, somebody who is, in fact, saying exactly how they feel.
When was the last time you seen her? Do you know the?
They should ask Stefan, when's the last time you washed that hat? The roommate said he didn't wash that hat in 5 years. That's why it looks like that. People keep calling it a do-rag or whatever. It's actually just his hat all worn out. And besides him being a filthy deviant in every other way, he's also a dirty pig that didn't shower for like 21 days when he got into the jail system. He was dirty and filthy, cleanliness-wise, in his house, probably at Jen's house. So that makes me even more disgusted to think of what poor Maddie had to go through. Justice for Maddie. No longer does she have to go through that. May she rest in peace. And I wish this would have been caught before. And, therapy could have helped. A lot of things could have helped if someone would have stepped in, and everybody felt Maddie.
On what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off. How old is she?
5'1".
Now you'll notice there was that we. This has been a really big sticking point for a lot of people, where he said we dropped her off. And you'll notice that she doesn't disagree with that, although she has stated very plainly that she was not part of the drop-off, that she wasn't there for that. But it very well could be that Stefan Stearns has spoken in this way. He's using this language and that she is adopting it. She is just saying the same things that he's saying. But he definitely took point when that question was asked. Watch this part again right here.
No further information, 1064, 1946.
And when was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off. How old is she?
5'1".
Weight.
110 pounds.
110, 112. Hair color.
Blonde.
You'll notice how comfortable he is providing factual information, height, weight, things like that. That doesn't seem to be a problem.
Well, particularly it bothers me that he says 112. She says 110, and he corrects it as 112. What was he doing? Having her weigh herself? Oh, you're getting a little overweight there. You're at 112 now. Remember, Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stearns both had gastric sleeves. They were overweight when they met each other. That's how they met and bonded over both being fatties. Sorry. That normally doesn't bother me, but in this situation, it's something that I just want to, Anyway, they both have gastric sleeves, and it makes me wonder if he was monitoring Maddie's weight and saying, "Oh, you're getting a little too overweight there." Why does he know what weight she was exactly and all of her markings? That right there is a huge red flag. And I think the police were a little distracted, but they caught on fairly quick because they did find her fairly quick, and they caught on in enough time to be able to gather information enough to put him in jail real quick. Once they realized, wiped his phone, they got everything they could from the cloud, and boom. It did take about a month to give him the indictment for the taking of her life, but I still think they did a fantastic job and they moved fast.
For him.
Hair color.
Blonde.
Blonde, like a dirty.
So you notice right here, he's trying to provide additional information, clarifying information. This is something that people do oftentimes when they lie. They will provide information on non-threatening subjects. So right now, physical description, height, weight, all that kind of stuff, it's a non-threatening subject because these are facts. And so in situations like this.
No, he actually said 112. He said 110, 112. He was correcting her by 2 pounds. I've watched this video 30 times probably. He did say 112, but just for your correction, just because I've watched it and I could hear it really good in my headphones. He did say he was off by 2 pounds. And Lori, you must not have watched the roommate video. The roommate video goes back to where Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto met. She lived with them. She knows their relationship, how they got together. They weren't together at first. They were friends. They bonded over the gastric stuff because they were both overweight. She said that Maddie, Stephen, and Jen used to all sleep in the bed together. They'd be in there for hours. Now, yeah, he does need a bra. This was alarming to her, and she'd leave her door open because she felt uncomfortable about it. What's up, Valerie? A good time to pause. Oddly specific. That's what I was saying. The reason I remember it's 112 is because it's oddly specific. It's like he was monitoring her weight. Yeah, who would know those details? He made sure he wasn't with Jennifer when she went to pick up Maddie. Yeah, so many things. I have no idea what my kid weighs. I have an idea what my kid weighs, but I wouldn't. It's my kid. So that's a little bit different than some ex-boyfriend that's off and on. Okay, I said, yeah, I don't mean to correct you, Maya. I've heard it so many dang times that it was odd for him to correct her for 2 dang pounds. All right. And yeah, he was taking Adderall. He had an Adderall problem as well. And he had talking about having trouble finishing, if you know what I'm saying. Jen was in the house with him for the whole day. She absolutely was. That is true.
He's going to provide additional information. It will make him seem like he is complying. It'll make it seem like he is really participating. When in all reality, he's providing facts that they could find out from a number of people.
Okay. Eye color.
Probably.
Does she have any markings on her, like any scars or anything like that?
Distinctive beauty mark.
Now you'll notice how quickly he jumped in on that. When it comes once again to factual information, he wants to seem that he is really participating. So that he's taking his chance right now to jump in as much as he can.
On her face.
On her face.
On the face, like below the nose or near the nose.
Okay, now this bothers me a lot. Every time I've watched this video with you all, it bothers me that I believe it bothers him about the beauty mark. Listen real closely here. And he talks about the beauty mark. And then after he already tells them, he says, it's big. Like it bothers him. He doesn't have much personality and he has that Mickey Mouse voice. But he talks about the beauty mark. And then his remark after, he says, it's big. Like it really bothers him. So the two things that stand out is him monitoring Maddie's weight potentially because he wanted to keep her at a certain weight for his pleasure, obviously. And then number two, that beauty mark bothered him. He thought it was too big. Listen
Yeah,
close.
like right in that area there, it's very distinctive. You'd know it if you saw it. Big.
Did you hear
But
that?
as you can see
It's big.
right now, she's anxious. He's hiding. That's the body language we're seeing over and over again. She's rocking around. She's having a hard time standing still, whereas he wants to be as invisible as possible.
Any other scars or anything like that?
Scars? No.
Tattoos.
No. You'd be surprised.
I put the top part out. I didn't get the rest of the stuff.
I'm getting a random 407 number. Hello? Yes?
Now you'll notice as soon as she said she had a 407 number, he's using this as an opportunity to get away from the police officers, to face away, to be distracted.
Yes?
Now he gets very still when she says yes, because then it turns out this is not just some sort of random call, not a robocall. This is somebody that apparently is attempting to actually call Jennifer Soto.
Hi, Principal. I'm okay.
Do you see how still he sat through that? Maybe because he thought there was news and he's standing in front of police officers. That would be a very uncomfortable place to be. He's relieved once he finds out it's a principal because he
Yeah, we all loved her beauty marks. Her friends, I'm sure, loved her beauty marks. We're going to hear more as it comes out. There's a lot of people on the witness list. One of the ladies on the witness list is Annalise, and she's there in the background. They have these people blurred out, but in my videos, they're not. Annalise is and was Jen Soto's best friend, and she's back there in a pink sweater that you can't see right now. I don't know any of them. We're laughing in a situation because the kid's going, yeah, absolutely. I don't either. He smelled up the whole building, I am sure. No wonder he tried saying, I tried to take her to McDonald's, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I agree with that too. And another thing, if you knew that he got a gastric sleeve, eating McDonald's, there's not a big option on eating McDonald's when you have a gastric sleeve. You can't eat much. So him even talking about that was weird to me. And he kept saying he tried to take her back twice. And I'm like, why? Call me paranoid. I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid AF, folks. All right.
He knows the principal didn't find her. It's just a follow-up, like a normal follow-up call. So watch his reaction after, and then we're going to talk about it.
How are you?
See that big breath in? I think he was probably holding his breath when the phone first rang, when he was watching her react, seeing that she was engaged with the phone call. He probably was afraid something bad was getting ready to happen, that he was maybe getting ready to get found out, that somebody had found the body, whatever it was, something was going on where he thought something was bad. Then as soon as it turned out it was the principal, because he knew there couldn't be any relevant news there, he takes a sigh of relief, because when you're sitting still, when you're not breathing, your blood is still pumping, your heart is pumping harder, and that's using up oxygen. So we have to take a big breath in afterward to sort of re-regulate ourselves to get back to baseline. Watch the sequence again. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm getting a random 407 number. Hello? Yes? Hi, Principal. I'm okay. How are you?
See, and it was almost the opposite of what most people would do in a situation like this. So
right?
When the phone first rang, somebody might pay a little bit of attention. And then when it hears that it's the principal, oh, I wonder if the principal's found her. I wonder whatever's going on. Something, there would be more engagement the opposite way. That's when most people would actually want to pay attention. I wonder why the principal's calling her. Whereas for him, I believe he knows the principal can't have any sort of relevant news. So he disengages at that time. He goes, okay.
Oh, no, I want to answer this. I wonder if he was into this type of behavior before Jen. Oh, no, he was definitely into this type of behavior. I'm sure they went way back. When we look at his Sustanet account, he was deep into that kind of behavior. And I believe he targeted Jen when he knew that she had a little girl that was 8 years old. She was around 8 when he met Jen and Maddie, and he targeted her right away with all those Tamagotchis, the toys, the cartoons, the video games. If you go back and listen to the roommate video, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay, this is safe. This is just a conversation that she can go have. It's going to have no bearing on me. I can relax again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find her paperwork.
So we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of the behavior and body language that we saw. Now, obviously, from what I'm saying, Stephen Stearns appears to be trying to hide this night. He appears to be trying to not be seen. It seems that he is trying to obscure his body language, and it seems that as much as he can, outside of factual information, he doesn't really want to engage with police officers. Jennifer Soto seems more engaged. She seems open. She seems connected. She seems very anxious, but she doesn't seem that she's trying to hide anything. She also doesn't appear to be showing any fake body language, because sometimes we see people fake crying, we see them upset in dramatic ways. We didn't see anything like that tonight. Obviously, she seems concerned and anxious, but she does not show any body language of somebody who's being deceptive. And I think that that's really important. If you have any thoughts about this, please let me know in the comments below. I know there's a lot of intense.
And thank you, Dr. G. Yeah, there are a lot of intense feelings about all of this. And, for Maddie, we just want to keep the peace with the Soto family, the other people that were there. And yeah, we're gonna get into the video next of the body cam, because I do want you to know all of it's on my page. You can watch it without having to go to the news stations or downloading. You can play it. It's 1080p and all that. And yeah, Christine, I do believe that he did target her as having a child that age. Absolutely. 110%. That's my saying. I do want to show you guys something really quick though. I thought it was cool. And then I'm gonna go on to the next video. You guys should check that out after the links on the page. It looks a lot cooler when you see it this way. So if you look at, we put a few products up. We haven't put the logo or anything, but you can lurk around, see the logo, turn it around the back. You got guilty of crime, and you got different options on the colors, which is cool. I like red personally. Black and red are one of my favorite colors. If you like black or blue or white, any of those, all those are options. So I thought I would show you that. I was gonna make me go back. Let's go to, I kind of like I love mugs. And you can get the mug. It says guilty of crime. It's got the guilty of crime justice logo. And you can get a black mug if you like black. I do. Black and red. That's my jam. So I just thought it was really cool after we hit 10,000 hoodies. Those are my jam. I would particularly get a black one, and then it says guilty of crime on the back. Red, you get in purple, you get in pink if you're girly girl. It's also got the other logo on the front. I'm just on the back right now. There it is. So I kind of wanted to show you all that. I thought it was cool that we're making progress. Thank you, Carly. Carly put the store up. It's still in the progress. It's still in progress, but you can buy from there now. So if you want to get yourself a mug, thank you. If you want to get yourself a sticker, you don't have a lot of money and you just want to look around, you can get yourself a sticker, guilty of crime. It's pretty cool. I love stickers. I buy stickers all the time. So and then we've got the hat. This is my favorite. I love wearing hats. Summertime comes. You guys see I may not be a girly girl, but you see my face. You see that skincare regimen I had going on. That's because I keep out of the sun, folks. So that's how I keep out of the sun, with hats like this. I'll wear the bucket hat or a hat so I don't get sun in my face. So there it is. We've got, a few items up. Tank tops. I'm always going to jam a tank top during the summer. Those are my favorite, and the tank tops and the hat, because it's almost pool time, everybody. So hat, tank top, hoodie, sticker, and a mug. All right. I thought it'd be cool to share that. And now everybody, yeah, it's not even about buying it. I just wanted to show you so you guys have the option. It's there. We've made it to that point. Right now, I'm not. I'm in my studio right now, but I'm not tattooing at this moment because my plate is full. Fighting justice. Christine says, Alara, I don't think the dynamics they're saying once we see in court what happened, we will have compassion for the Soto family and Jen. And I appreciate all comments, all sides. That's why we're here. That's why I came on tonight. And also, I wanted to share the Dr. G perspective. His perspective is always like kind of in the middle of what I feel and think. It's always like right down the middle. So you've heard my feelings. If you're watching my channel, you know how I feel. Yes, I am a tattoo artist. I've been a tattoo artist for the last 25 years. You can see I'm suited up. I've got like a full body suit almost. So yeah, there's that. My stepdaughter's mom is dumb like Jen. I've had this girl from 6 to 16. Mom gets 2 weekends a month choice. I'm the parent that doesn't play. Mom has no boundaries with men like Jen. Yeah, I feel ya. No, I'm a fire sign, girl. I'm a Leo. 110% a Leo. If you know, you know. If you know what that means by me being a Leo, you know what that means. Yeah, that's a fire sign, y'all. I'm fire and I'm ready to roar and I'm ready to help fight justice. I'm ready to bring people together. I'm ready to bring compassion. I would love everybody to get along. I'm one of those people, but I know it's not going to happen. So we're here. Yeah, I am a managing director / COO of a mechanical engineering firm for the last 17 years. I have a private tattoo studio. I've been tattooing since I was the day I turned 18. I'm 44. Yes. I also wrote a book. I have a book out there that you can purchase, and I fight justice. You want to know what moon also? I'm like a full-on Leo, just so you know. Yeah. All the way, Leo. Another Leo. What's up? Lots of Leos in here. We should call ourselves the Pride. Absolutely. Leos have 100%, 110% pride. We take pride in everything we do. And that's why I keep coming back, because I need to make sure that I get these things right. I'm a Pisces. What's up, Pisces? Another Pisces. Another Leo. When do I sleep all the time, girl? I need my beauty sleep. I get 8 hours of sleep. I go to bed usually. It's a weekend for me right now, but I go to bed at I have a 9-year-old, so I go to bed at like 10 o'clock, wake up at 7, do my beauty regimen, go to work, come home, do some filming. I'm all about my sleep. Ooh, I feel sorry for you. There you go. There's a new one. Prison, hashtag prison for Jen Soto. Leo, oh my, what does that mean? Triple Leo and Aries. Yeah. Aries. I love you all for being here with me tonight. It's 10:30 California, 11:30 Mountain, 12:30 Central, and 1:30 in the morning in the East Coast. 44-year-old Pisces making commercials and making my own YouTube content. You a boss, Jay. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. I am a boss, actually. I actually am a boss. So, Gemini. Geminis are crazy. I'm a Leo with Gemini ascending. Gemini. Virgo. All right, y'all. You want to know about the missing body cam footage? And I do love the late night streams too. It's a Saturday night. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Next week, I'm off for like 4 days. It's the wife's birthday. She's going to be 44. I'm coming up on 45 next month. And so I know there's a lot of people that are late night. I was watching YouTube and it sucked. There was nothing good on. So I decided to come on. I don't know what happened to Maud Bree. I don't know if Libra. Libras are awesome. Yeah, Libras are awesome. There she is. I thought you disappeared on us for a second there. Libra. Yeah, Libras. I like all fire signs. Both my kids are Scorpios, and they're Scorpios for sure. 1:30 in Florida. Cheapskate. August 2nd, baby. I'm taking the day off for that one. And I have news for you on that one, folks. I have another episode coming out on Christopher Greger. Real talk from his ex-girlfriend. It's bad. It's worse than I thought. Ooh, oh boy, Layla's a Leo. Where is Jen? I don't know. I think some people that are in this chat may know where Jen is, though. I have a feeling. All right, let's find out what happened to the missing body cam footage. It's all on my channel, so if you want it, go snatch it up. Part 1 through 8 is all on there, folks, and it's in good high definition so that you can see everything that you want to. Now, I got the body cam footage from Paula from Plunder, and it's weird because one of the videos I had was all in color and high def, and she had like a lower grainy footage. And now listen to this.
is happening with this Orange County Sheriff deputy's missing body-worn camera video footage from the night of Monday, February 26th, 2024, when Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto talked to more than one officer about Madeline Soto going missing that day.
Yeah.
As you guys know, even though I put in a
You should.
plethora of public records requests with police, I received 8 videos from the YouTuber named The Docket from police. However, eagle-eyed viewers have noticed that the all-important body cam video from the second officer who speaks with Stearns and Soto was not in that initial batch of 8 videos. First, let's take a look at what was sent directly from the Assistant Records Custodian of the Orange County Sheriff's Office on Monday, June 3rd, 2024 at 11:14 a.m. It was a zip file sent via the WeTransfer website containing 8 videos. Let's examine what these 8 videos contain before we talk about what videos are missing.
All right, so those are the exact videos that I have, folks. August 2nd, it's my dad's birthday. I'm July 25th, y'all. My birthday's coming up, so feel free to go on my page and light it up with a happy birthday on July 25th. I'm a Leo, so I have no shame in saying that. Now, those files you see are, and we just hit 444. So that's an angel number. Maddie's in the house. That's what I say. I know she knows we're fighting for justice. I'm really connected to this case, and not because I'm covering it. I'm connected because I talk to the advocates. I talk to the roommate. I talk to other people that are connected to the case. So my connection is not for likes and subscribes. I do want the like button so that we can get better content. Better content means you're going to see me interviewing more people, and you're going to have more people reaching out to me that know more about the cases, so you can get better information than everybody else has. All right. All right, let's talk about this. These are the files I have too. Again, thank you, Paula from Plunder. She's an angel. She really is. She's such a sweetheart. It's not an act.
And why it's important to fight for the finding and preservation of such evidence. Most YouTubers just downloaded the body cam videos from WKMG News 6 Click Orlando's YouTube channel. You can tell because some wonderful video editor took pains to blur a lot of the videos inside the insurance company where Maddie's grandma worked. That same exact blur appears on other YouTubers' versions, but those of us who downloaded the videos directly from WeTransfer know that the cops didn't put any blur on the original videos, save for the black box on the bulk of the 45-minute video in Jen's condo. Which begs the question, what did the news stations pay more than $830?
This is interesting. It's a good conversation to have. Thank you, K.A. Pisces. You did open a can of Zodiac, and it seems like a lot of us on this channel, we really are lovers on this channel. We have big hearts. We're compassionate. The chat doesn't really have to be monitored too much. We throw up the links, but y'all are fantastic, and that's a community I want. All right, so I want you to know somebody earlier, which she a asked me. I think it was you that asked me. You thought I didn't want you to talk about other cases or something. There's no boundaries on my channel, folks. I'm not one of those channels that says, don't talk about other creators or don't talk about other cases. Talk about what you want. Just don't talk shit about me, and don't talk shit about the people in chat. Y'all can agree to disagree. You could talk about other cases. Please talk about please talk about other creators. That is how I found Deception Detective, was Mr. Davy Jones. He came on my chat one day and said, you know who Deception Detective is? And now that's not only do I do collaboration videos with him, I do reaction collabs, but that is just one of my favorite dudes. So please talk about other creators all you want, and thank you. Talk about whatever the heck you want. Just be respectful. I don't have any boundaries. Do you even yell because you're soft spoken? Just saying. This is me yelling right now, Sam. It's funny because I feel like I'm yelling right now, but this is actually my voice with the volume all the way up. I don't know. Many are strict. Most of us follow the same YouTube creators. Well, I'm not the same YouTube creator. So I say it's a free for all. Talk about what you want. Just be respectful. I don't care. I like talking about zodiac signs. I like talking about other creators in a positive way. I was very honored that Toddy won, Skip, took the time out of her day to message me and tell me what a great interview I did with Christopher Gregor case with Bree Michelot and Corey, Justice for Corey Michelot. I felt honored. AG Tactical shouted me out, played the video. I hear other creators talking about the video, and I feel honored. So I welcome all creators and all creators' names to be blasted all over my channel. Blast away, folks. Just be respectful. My ears. Am I talking loud for real? All right, go ahead. Sandwich, that's me. All right, y'all, let's go. Let's listen to this.
In terms of the police's video editing time, but I digress. You can see that the 5-minute and 51-second video titled Body Cam Video Released from Night. Madeline Soto was reported missing. Part 1 on WKMG corresponds to the original video titled Missing.mp4 received directly from police. Likewise, the 7-minute and 8-second video titled Body Cam Video Released from Night, Madeline Soto was reported missing. Part 2 on WKMG corresponds to the original video titled Missing-2.mp4 and so on. According to Axon, there is a permanent watermark in the upper right corner of videos that displays the date, time, and most importantly,
yeah, Pat Brown is actually friends with Deception Detective. I believe they do some collabs. A lot of people that are nice and loving creators that share, actually, we're all in the same community. Yeah. And it blows my mind that there's 442 people in chat and only 136 likes. Don't you want me to get exclusive content? I know you want me to get those interviews and all the behind the scenes stuff. So if you hit that like, it's free, folks. It only takes a second. Thank you.
The camera serial number for the duration of the video. Therefore, we can surmise that each officer has his or her own unique serial number on their body-worn camera. Keeping this in mind, let's see what the data and viewpoints tell us about how many cops responded that night and whose footage were missing. According to an incident report obtained by Channel 9, Deputy Joseph responded to Village Park Drive in Orlando, which is the insurance office of Maddie's grandmother, Yolanda Zambrano. He arrived at approximately 1948 hours, which is very close to the 1942 hours displayed on a cell phone of an officer walking into the building. Deputy Joseph states that he arrived on the scene and got verbal and sworn written testimony from Jennifer Soto, stating she observed Madeline getting dressed for school that morning at approximately 8 a.m.
I actually wanted to highlight that part. I'm going to go back because I was paying attention to the comments. This is the interesting part that throws me off, and I cannot wait to see the documents in court. Toddy One's already talking with Bree, KJ, just so you know. So I think they are going to do an interview. Oh my God, I have another interview too. I have so much to share with you. I have another episode for Christopher Gregor. I had another interview with Bree. Toddy One's going to do an interview. I'm pretty sure. I know that they're talking. I just love people that love people. That's it. I'm like a hippie that doesn't smoke weed, folks. All right. Yeah, I don't understand how they're so calm, but I want to highlight this part because these are the paperwork that's going to come out Gemini, June 10th. Happy early birthday. All right, this is the paperwork that's going to come out in court, and listen to this. How did Jen see this? How? I don't get it. This is in the paperwork. It's going to come up in court.
Of Maddie's grandmother, Yolanda Zambrano. He arrived at approximately 1948 hours, which is very close to the 1942 hours displayed on a...
She said she saw Maddie getting dressed for school. Hold on, I didn't go back enough. How did she see Maddie getting dressed for school, folks? Whoever, what's your name? Christine Micro? What do you know? I want to know what you know. It says, my investigation revealed when I arrived on the scene, I spoke to Motherford Jennifer Lizette Soto, who gave me verbal and sworn written testimony on February 26, 2023 at approximately 800 hours. Jennifer observed missing Madeline Soto getting dressed for school. And then they call him the stepfather. Stephen Stearns took Madeline to school, dropping her off near the intersection of Town Loop Boulevard. Park Lane, approximately 8:30. Jennifer went to Hunters Creek Middle School in an attempt to pick up Maddie at 1600 hours after school. It's 4 o'clock and discovered she didn't make it to school. That's the part that bothers all of us, is how did you see her getting dressed for school? And she was wrong. I believe she was wearing blue shorts, like blue jean or blue shorts. She wasn't wearing black. So she was wrong about that.
Incident report obtained by Channel 9, Deputy Joseph responded to Village Park Drive in Orlando, which is the insurance office of Maddie's grandmother, Yolanda Zambrano. He arrived at approximately 1948 hours, which is very close to the 1942 hours displayed on a cell phone of an officer walking into the building. Deputy Joseph states that he arrived on the scene and got verbal and sworn written testimony from Jennifer Soto, stating she observed Madeline getting dressed for school that morning at approximately 8 a.m. Deputy Joseph wrote that while on the scene, he had Deputy Diaz go to Maddie's grandmother's house on Los Palmas Drive since it was close to the school and the office. Plus, Deputy Mooney attempted to contact someone at Santa Maria Drive to see if Maddie was on her way back to her mother's home, but all those efforts yielded negative results. In studying these 8 videos, I realized that we only have body-worn camera videos from 2 officers. The officer with the serial number X60A5695J is the female dog handler, and we only have 1 video from her body-worn camera.
A mile away. So just preparing I'm just preparing you for future, start stretching out. Because it's happened, but I just gotta give him forewarning.
The rest of the video footage is from a guy I'll call officer number 1. His serial number X831427797 proves he's the same officer whose footage began on February 26th at 7:34 p.m. We see him drive to the insurance office and enter the building, speak with Jen and Stearns.
The park, when I talked to them, they said, it looked like 5 or 6.
5 or 6 kids at the park. All right. Give me a second, bro.
Hey,
go ahead.
Let me finish up with this and out of here.
Are you able to pick up call 931, please?
I'm currently working possible signal 8. Can I hold off on that?
Is that from the other one?
26.
Now, I want to go back to this comment because it could go both ways. I'm playing Deadpool's advocate here, folks. If she claims she saw Maddie getting dressed, she should have known she was wearing shorts. That means she knew what happened. But she didn't know what color shorts she was wearing. She corrected Stephanie and said black shorts. She wasn't wearing black shorts at all. She didn't see her get dressed that morning. There's no way she saw her get dressed that morning because she was already passed by then. So I do want to wait to see the interview. I mean, the court documents and further information at trial, whatever happens. I wonder if she's just going to say, I trusted Stefan. He took her to school. I went with his story. Yes, I lied. I made a mistake. I didn't know that was happening. I can't wait to hear what's going to happen. The picture that was accidentally released had, Maddie in blue jeans. But if you listen to the interview we just watched, she said that she had black shorts on. So that's what I'm saying. Is Jen gonna say that she just went, she's gonna admit, she has to admit that she lied and told the story. Yeah, that's what I don't know. We really don't know. They were both wrong, but only one of them's been charged.
Of course. Do they speak English?
Yes, this is Mom.
This is Mom? Okay.
Until he briefly walks out about 7:40 p.m. to approach another officer in his cruiser. This is where the missing.mp4 video ends. His body-worn camera video picks up again at 7:41 p.m. in the missing-2 MP4 video as another officer is displayed behind the wheel.
My question is not, why is it not a code 3 when it first came out?
Yeah, they're right. Code 3, somebody told me the other day, is should be like a missing child. I don't know the exact verbiage, but it should have been escalated. This is hours now later. This is 12, 13 hours later, and she's been gone since that morning. And you're right. he was already throwing her stuff by 7:30. So that timeline is completely wrong. And Jen will have to at least say that, Davey, that she was telling the same story, and she's gonna have to say something, and I don't know what. You're right. I don't understand the intention either at all whatsoever. I have no idea. Don't know. I guess we'll have to wait until we find out when we hear it from court or if somebody comes forward.
Yeah, so that last time she was seen, it was early this morning, like 7 o'clock. That's what I'm about to see. I'm about to go check. I just try to get as much information now of her clothing description, send it to Diaz. Diaz has a hit in like a big area full of hits. So if you want to help me out with this one, yeah. My signal expert. Why didn't you? Does she have a phone number or phone?
She does, but she left it at home today. I have it.
You have it.
And I've already gone through her messages.
Okay. How about, does she have like Apple Watch? No.
She's got a device. The only device she's got on her right now is her school laptop.
Her school laptop, is that trackable?
I
don't think so.
It should be. If the Wi-Fi's turned on, it'll try to connect to the Wi-Fi.
That scared face. All right. And you're right. And Orlando, that's what I've been saying. At the very least, let's say that she was just completely oblivious and give her the benefit of that doubt. Being charged with lying to the police is obstructing justice and interfering with the investigation, as well as neglect of a child by handing her over to the devil. So those are the things that I'm really surprised that they haven't at least charged her with. There is something behind the scenes that we don't know about. There's a lot of some things, and I'm sure her family knows. And sometimes people come on this channel, and I think they're people that are tied to her family. If they're all in the same group, in the Facebook group that I'm in, and they see my videos, they gotta be here. So what's up, Courtney Barnett? How you doing? Hit that like button on your way in. We got 474, 235 likes. Let's get in the algorithm, not just for me, but for y'all, so we can have better content. The more people that see us, the more people that are going to contact me and they want to come on the show and give interviews and give me the inside info. If y'all are waiting for Christopher Greger text messages from the ex-girlfriend, I don't even think you're going to believe that, because I don't think anyone knew what the depth of a bad guy and a devil he was. Bree was not the only person that he was RAing, let's say. And in his text messages, I'll show you his text messages with Chris's name right on the top. He's talking about kicking in his ex's door and just taking it from her and RAPE-ing her. Okay? Like, they're bad. It's going to be a trigger warning for y'all. Dragon Queen, hi Jay, love your channel. And I love you for loving the channel. Keep coming back and supporting the channel by just hitting that like button. When the trial starts, oh my God, the info we're going to get. Yeah, I can't wait. And we heard it here first. The roommate told us, and then the paperwork came out, and Jen admitted it to the police. She admitted to the police before the roommate came, but the police did not release that information until after. So we were talking about on the channel, the paperwork's all the documents dropped, and we heard it from the news station that Jen told the police that she was not only sleeping in the same bed, all three of them, but on the nights that she was anxious, she would send Stefan and Maddie into another room. I thought there was 3 other rooms available, but they had roommates. So there was probably only Maddie's room available, and that's where Stefan and her were going, more than likely, allegedly. That is a very interesting question. I don't know what their life was like on that level. Very interesting. I don't know if I want to know, but we're probably going to find out something.
Said he was a good decision. That's not an idea.
She don't have a history of LA or anything. She just hanging out.
Possibly, I don't know. She got dropped off. She was like, so she's embarrassed by his car. So she wanted to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's an image thing. She's in face.
But
Let's
I
not.
dropped her off a block away and drove away.
Okay. Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called
She
school.
was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got her walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she ever went to school,
So
Another thing he says is it looks the same as every other morning. And that's a huge lie because in the interview, Jen Soto says that was the only morning that she's ever had him take Maddie to school. That particular morning, for some reason, she couldn't get out of bed that day and she needed extra sleep. And that's what she said. And he acted like it was a normal thing. They both would get up, take her to school, have coffee, do breakfast. That's a huge lie. And she just goes along with it. You're right, Davey. That's what makes me upset is there's no urgency, which translates to no urgency from the police until later on when they start seeing the videos. They see the backpack dump. They see Maddie slumped over in the car and they realize all that. And she is by for all the cold heart she is. I wouldn't be surprised if she did other stuff in bed. So many lies, so many things. I've heard that quite a bit from a lot of people, but like I said, Maddie, let's save the love at least for the Soto and the Wallace family. Her, I wish she would come out and speak or at least give a statement through her attorney. Can't stand listening to that monster talk either. Yeah, I think he's just a devil. She was tired. She see Maddie. She said she was tired, but how did she see Maddie? That doesn't make sense either. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. This trial's going to be publicized. I hope it does. If not, we're going to have to do like the Lori Vallow style where we get audio every day. I don't know how brutal it's going to be. He does have moves. He does. That's because he was overweight and he had that surgery.
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it, but I also spoke to her or emailed one of her teachers directly, and he looked at all her attendance for all her periods and told me she'd make it at all today.
Okay.
Say it again? No, she was supposed to have a book bag. She was supposed to go to school, but didn't go to school today.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Battery FGOA 212319 at Turtleback Loop. Third party for Saturday,
Okay.
complaint.
All right.
Children by two juvenile males. Requested FOI code 219.5.
I'm trying to figure out secondary spots, but so far negative on anything. Yeah, you could be 51 to me. All right, cool.
This time, by the time he walks to re-enter the building, another officer is clearly displayed in front of him at approximately 7:49 p.m., according to his phone, or 7:40.
So if it's 7:49 p.m. and she went missing in the morning at 7:30, it's already been over 12 hours. Christine Micro, his parents' house, is 3 hours away. That's why in the documents we see that he has a hotel key, so he's staying at a hotel in between. He's not supposed to be living at Jen Soto's house at all. The mom had bad feelings about him, didn't like him. I think everybody did just what Tyler Wallace said, had the ick about him. He also, I believe, had a storage facility there, so he kept some stuff there. It makes me wonder if he took Maddie to his hotel ever or what they found in the locker. Yeah, I don't know. What we do know is that he's the one that's been indicted so far. Can't believe, yeah, you can't believe anything he says. We already know that by now. We know who's what right now. Yeah, Holiday Inn. I hope he didn't take Matt. Me too.
10:45 p.m. per the body cam time, with the other officer approaching the building first. That officer can be seen to his right taking notes on a notepad, clearly wearing an Orange County Sheriff's hat and potentially a body-worn camera device on him. He remains in the room talking with Jen and Stearns as the officer number one steps in. Notice that there are certain vantage points from the second officer's missing body cam videos that we have yet to see. We don't see that close-up viewpoint of the pad he's writing atop, and later we won't see his head-on view of handing Stearns a phone. At 9:04 p.m., officer number one is traveling with Stearns as he lies to the cops about where he supposedly dropped Maddie off that morning near Peace Church. In his footage captured in the video titled Redacted Extraction 1.1 Missing MP4, we see another cop hand Stearns what looks like a phone. But where is that officer's footage? And whose phone did he hand to Stearns?
So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this strip, like we could see the overpass down there.
Where's the school?
Just on the other side of the overpass.
Now, yeah, he's just telling lies in this video, completely telling where he dropped her off. Dion Pill, looks like you just came in here. Don't forget, hit that like button. I think that's in her best interest to stop talking. I agree. But she's already talked quite a bit, and we have a bunch of information and misinformation. So thank you again, Dion Pill, for your super sticker. I love every one of you, and everything helps. I appreciate you so much for helping my channel grow. I can't say that enough. It's 11 o'clock here in California on a, what night are we on? Saturday night, and you all could be anywhere, but you're here with me. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're the channel that makes things make sense by logic and reason. We don't go on conspiracy theories, and we only go by what we hear, what we read, what we see, and we piece it together the best that we can. And again, everything's alleged, innocent until proven guilty. And yeah, otherwise it's just for entertainment purposes. And I think I'm doing my job by entertaining y'all because you're here. It's 2 o'clock in the morning for some of you. What up, Stacy? Northern California. Me too. Where are you in Northern California? I'm also in Northern California, Silicon Valley, San Jose, California. There's a lot of people. Oh, San Diego. That's my favorite place to be. That's my other home away from home, San Diego. And my daughter's brothers and sisters all live down there. My daughter has a bunch of brothers and sisters because we used the sperm donor, and we know them, and they all hang out. So they all live down in that area, which is really cool. And it's for another day that I'll tell you. Cool cucumber for a recent killer in front of the police. Yeah, absolutely. San Diego. I grew up down in Tehachapi area, Palmdale, California. Palmdale of nowhere, California. Colorado midnight. South Florida, baby. We call it Central up here. And oh, Redding. Yeah, that's about 4 hours for me. 3-4 hours. Just got back from seeing Jon Stewart. Is that why you're awake? What's up, Trina? How you doing? You're doing a good job. Thank you. I appreciate that. Pit Lover 66. I only want facts and truth here. So if it's anything else, then I wonder why the neighbors, I wonder what their roommates have witnessed, don't you? They have a ton of roommates in and out, and there's only one that spoke to me so far. So I wonder what they have to say. My cousin did the same thing. She has a beautiful daughter. Absolutely. And so is mine. Riverside. What's up, Riverside, California? Costa Rica. Midnight. He seems scarily comfortable around. Yeah, he seems sedated. All right. So we don't know what body cam's missing yet. But what the whole point of this is that it cost $830 for this video, and they don't have it all.
By 10:28 p.m., officer number one is reviewing surveillance footage at Peace Church, as seen in the video file named Redacted Extraction 3.1 Missing MP4. By 10:32 p.m., officer number one is talking with folks in the church, then walks outside to speak with Jen's sister in the file named Redacted Extraction 2.1 Missing MP4. In the file titled Redacted Extraction 4.1 Missing MP4, Officer Number 1 responds to Jen's condo by 12:46 a.m. By now, it truly is after midnight and into the next day, Tuesday, February 27th. Jen answers the door, and the rest of the video and audio was redacted with a visual black box and silenced by police.
Thank you. Florida. Aw. Good night.
Hey, I just want to verify the clothing.
Oh, okay.
Finally,
All right, folks. Now, this is why it gets redacted. If you watch on my channel, Body Cam Part 8, it's all redacted for the last 43 minutes because there's a bunch of roommates in there. I'm going to rewind it for a second because I want you to see the way she says, oh, it kind of bothers me. If my daughter was missing and the police were there to verify what she was wearing, I'd be like, yes, thank you for finally getting here. What took you so long? Listen to her reaction. It just bothers me.
Hey, I just want to verify the clothing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
finally,
okay.
in the 8th video, Officer Number 1 is out with the female cop watching the bloodhound poop and meander around as seen in the video named Missing-3.mp4. Her footage is captured in the video we've already counted, titled Missing_person.mp4.
What's up?
When I noticed the missing body cam videos, I asked Orange County about it. I was immediately told by the public information officer, the video that you have received is the entirety of the BWC video available from the missing persons case. You have received everything that we have released pertaining to the Madeline Soto missing persons case. Any other records in this case should come from the Kissimmee Police Department, which is the agency handling Madeline Soto's murder. However, I knew this couldn't be true via my research and comments from viewers who've noticed the same missing footage. I pointed out the second officer in the video, in the room with Jen and Stearns, clearly wearing an Orange County Sheriff's hat. He wasn't from the Kissimmee Police Department. In fact, he seems to spend perhaps more time with them than Officer 1, and perhaps got more pertinent details or lies from the couple when the other officer stepped out to take a phone call.
All right. I want to answer your question, Christine Micro, because I always feel like you know something more than I do. Tyler's channel. I'm not sure what you mean by Tyler's channel, but there's a hotel key in the evidence paperwork. So we have a bunch of paperwork, documents from Osceola, Florida County, and you could download them. There's PDFs, and in the documents, there's a key, a hotel key that they found, like one of those card keys that's in the evidence. There's a storage locker. And KJ, I have to agree with you. He is lazy AF. That's all he did all day was probably trade child pee. He was online all day playing video games, trying to attract the kids, painting those damn Warhammer things, and really just trying to get kids all day. And that's it. Yeah, he was staying. He had a hotel back and forth between the places. He was not supposed to be at Jen's house. He wasn't living there anymore, even according to the police and to the documentation. He had moved out. Yes, hit a thumbs up for Maddie. Maddie is the reason we're here, so we can find justice in completion, full justice, not partial justice, all the way. The Tamagotchi weirdo, yeah, that bothered me. We don't know when he was in the hotel, but we know he had a hotel. They don't have dates. They just have it in evidence. It's like the Brian Koberger case where they found like a piece of hair, dog hair, a little bit of blood on a pillow, things like that. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Replied, the Orange County Sheriff Deputy who appears on the right-hand side in these screenshots has not had his body cam video footage released yet. He is not a Kissimmee Police Department officer. Only one Orange County Sheriff's officer's body cam video footage was released. This is a formal public records request, an attempt to obtain his body-worn camera footage that has not been released as requested several times now. I am prepared to determine this officer's name and badge number and obtain legal representation in order to obtain his footage. Thank you. I even attempted to reach out to Sheriff John W. Mina as well. That's when the Media Relations Orange County Sheriff's Office PIO told me to submit my request through their records portal so I will be able to monitor the request and ask for updates. Will this work? Let's hope and pray in Jesus it does. Why does it sometimes take threats of legal action to get body cam videos or interview footage that should be a standard part of the public records request process? I don't know.
Although an indictment has been returned this afternoon, it is still an open and ongoing criminal investigation. So much of this information cannot be disclosed until Mr. Stern's attorney, if he does so, elects to participate in discovery, and then all of you in the media know how to go about seeking information through public records.
Of course, if it's a simple oversight, like if the officer forgot to activate his body cam or something, they should just tell me that. Accidents happen, but it's important to preserve evidence before it is deleted so that evidence won't be lost over time, overwritten, or over.
Absolutely, and Paula is correct. Alara, you got to go watch my video. I have all that in the last video, part 1 of that. Go check out my playlist. It talks about his social media accounts. We have all of the accounts that he has. Absolutely. There's a checklist on that video. So it's only a couple videos back in the playlist called Madeline Soto. So I do know that. And it does tell you what to keep your children away from.
Overlooked, particularly in missing persons cases that morph into murder investigations. If they can't give the video to me now, only a few months after the crime, how are they going to find it if this case drags on for years? Of course, if any evidence that isn't allowed to be released due to public records laws or the fact that it could impede their investigation, should remain out of the public eye until a conviction is secured. However, if body cam video footage is being incorrectly withheld simply due to law enforcement officials not realizing it is there, that's a problem. The docket was recently quoted $275 from Lee County, Florida, for the redacted 280-page probable cause affidavit for Wade Wilson, the 30-year-old guy going viral.
All right, so you guys, if you were here today with me, we did this coverage on Wade Wilson. And he did a murder spree, right? We saw that, and dumb as a doornail. His interviews didn't make any sense, and they're asking for $3,000 for the body cam footage. I wouldn't pay $3 for that to hear anything he has to say. Yes, all of these people have to pay for this. A lot of times behind the scenes, people split the costs. There are some documents that I've purchased and Breeze helped me obtain, and we've split the costs. But I don't have 100 and something thousand followers where I'm making an income like that, where I can afford to just drop $3,000 or $8,000. So graciously, Paula has shared the files, and other channels have shared with me and said, hey, use whatever you want, because that's what kind of community I live in. So that's why I say all creators drop their names in the chat. I'm all good.
Viral for his face tattoos. Wilson faces capital murder in the deaths of Christy Melton and Diane Ruiz. The body cam video cost for that case a whopping $3,750. The complete file will be thousands. That's more than the $3,000 I was quoted for Nick Rakita's body cam video arrest footage. It seems as though some entities try to keep the public from witnessing certain public records by pricing them out of the market, or via missing video files. Zechariah 2:8. For thus says the Lord of hosts, after glory he has sent me against the nations which plunder you. For he who touches you touches the apple of his eye.
All right. That was it for that. I was looking up the all right, let's stop sharing that. I thought I had something else that I wanted to talk about. Without limits, without budget. Okay, was he afraid someone was going to stop and offer help with him with the body? There's a good possibility, and I wanted to talk about that because, of course he was. He absolutely had to. Hold on, let's talk about this for a second because he got a flat tire and then put her out wherever he could. Could you imagine getting a flat tire, someone coming to help, and then seeing a child that's been passed away in a vehicle already? So, did Stefan stage the flat tire? He didn't stage. He definitely didn't stage the flat tire. I don't believe that, but I think this may give a little bit more information about it here. Let's take a look at it for a second. I have a video. I know that it's not staged. Common sense and logic tell you he got a flat tire and he put Maddie's body into the bushes, the third row down, very quickly and impromptu, no hiding, just to get her away from him as fast as he could. And if you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about that. Someone said, yes, that's not what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about, there's so many. Okay. One of the missing part, I think maybe they didn't have the body cam footage on, or they forgot to turn it in. They also could have not charged their body cam that day, and it wasn't. Now, I don't think anyone was involved. I think it's just it didn't get in because maybe they didn't have it that day. It wasn't charged, or they simply forgot to turn it in. Cops make mistakes. They're people too. Thank God for the guy that. Yes, that's who I wanted to look for. If somebody knows his name, drop it in chat. I talked about him in other videos, but I've also done like 50 videos on Maddie. Dr. G on his channel today said they look guilty from the day one. Jennifer looked worried. I just did the Dr. G video. Are you talking about Dr. Grande? So what are we curious about the hotel key for? He had a hotel.
I said I didn't think Stefan Stearns staged the flat tire out on Highway 192 and Old Hickory Road. If you've been following the case, you likely know that Stearns' silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ sedan was spotted between 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. on the day that Madeline disappeared. It was 22 miles away from where Madeline lived, and it looked like the driver was changing a flat tire. Days later, Madeline's body would be found across the street from where the Lincoln was parked.
All right. This gives you a big clue that he had a flat tire and he got rid of Maddie as fast as he could. He was also very lazy, but he was going to drive as far away from the house as he could so they weren't going to the dogs weren't going to sniff her out and be able to find the body. Dr. John, you're talking about hidden true crime. Yeah, that's like an hour and a half long. I didn't watch that because I've watched so many versions of it, and I'm going to cover Deception Detectives one that comes out tomorrow at 9:30 a.m.
Please share this crime line bulletin on my right of Stephen Stearns. He was last seen driving a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ. The Florida tag is IYLL82. On
At
Monday,
the
February
house?
26th, between 1 and 2:30 p.m. in the area of State Road 192 and Old Hickory.
So when they made this announcement and they're looking for Maddie, somebody saw that car. Look at it has a flat tire on the back. You can see the donut. They call it a donut tire. And somebody said, I saw that guy changing a tire in the car. And that's where they found the body, was right across the street. Hence Maddie's memorial and where her memorial is. It's right across the street from where he had the flat tire. That leads me to believe that he had a flat tire and he needed to get rid of her before someone stopped and said, hey, are you okay? I'm sure Dr. John's was very good. And if I had another hours to go, I'd watch it with you all. Enrique, the case body can, they want charged to blur out the children. Body can, they want to. Yeah, they can do whatever they want to do, actually. Look at the Gannon Stout case, how that got out. And then there was pictures of Gannon and the Letitia, I call her Letitia Stout. They got out. The Texas sold those pictures YouTubers got them, and they had autopsy photos and pictures of Gannon, which is a child, a deceased with autopsies, and they leaked out onto YouTube, folks. I don't understand why they're allowed to sell them, and then they shouldn't sell them if they don't want them out. I think they shouldn't be, first of all, charging for them, but if you're going to charge for them, I mean, I just don't get it. It's just, I don't, that's a whole other topic, but yeah. All right. That's how they
Road, as well as Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road. During this time frame, it is believed that Stearns had a flat tire and might have been seen changing the tire in this area. If anyone saw this vehicle or noticed anything suspicious, we're asking that they call Crime Line.
I'm now wondering if Stearns did stage the flat tire as an excuse for parking his car on the side of the road at that time. Was Stearns trying to divert attention from the primary task of dumping a lifeless Madeline Soto out in a line of trees? As in, hey, everybody, look over here. I've got a flat tire. Don't look over there where someone's messing around with something in the tree line. The owner of the land on which Maddie was left said that a gate near the dump site was left open on the day Madeline disappeared. The place where Stearns supposedly changed the tire was right across the street from that dump site. So now I feel like it's definitely a possibility that Stearns could have staged the flat tire to have a good excuse for being parked on that flat rural road for a period of time. Cars do go by there from time to time, so it's not a deserted place. If Stearns is the person who placed Maddie out there, I do think he must have been in a hurry to rid himself of that damning cargo. There had to have been better places to stash a body. The trees at the dump site really don't constitute a woods. It's more like just a tree line. I think Stearns was working on borrowed time that day. He couldn't just disappear for hours and hours. He likely...
Exactly. That memorial is right in the open. Here is where he was changing the tire. Luckily, by the grace of God, someone saw that car, tipped it in, and that's how they found out it was Stearns. They went over there and looked. They didn't have to go too far. She was found in the third row back, right between those bushes that you can see right through. I mean, God watches out for all of us, but in this case, it was like almost a direct connection. So rest in peace, Maddie. The whole reason we did this episode tonight is to bring people together. Let's not have a divide. Let the families grieve together. No argument, no social media blasting them. Soto family, if you're watching this, we give you the same grace that we give to the Tyler family. We're grieving for you. We're grieving for Maddie, and the whole Florida and the whole world is watching this case and just feeling terrible about what happened to Maddie. I mean, we can't imagine any of that happening to us or our children. And a lot of people have gone through abuse, and a lot of people that are here tell me about it. So that's why they're watching so closely, and they have such empathy, and they cannot understand why you, Jen Soto, didn't watch your daughter better and then told the same story that Stephen Stearns did. Why? That's what we want to know, is why.
He needed to get back home so as not to look like he went on a long journey at the same time that Maddie went missing in action. Could Jen Soto have been with Stephen Stearns out there on Highway 192 and Old Hickory Road? I'm speculating. It's just as possible that Jen Soto was home sleeping while all this was going on. I'm trying to understand if it's possible that a mother could really be unaware that her on-again, off-again boyfriend, who sometimes lives with her and her young daughter, was essaying the child for years. Well, I stumbled upon a similar case out of Idaho. So in this other case, a man named Chris Hamburg essayed his girlfriend's young daughter for decades. And get this, he ultimately impregnated the young girl twice, once when she was just 11 and another time when she was 13. The essay began in the 1990s when Hamburg began dating the girl's mother in Washington state. Hamburg started essaying the woman's daughter after he moved into their home. home. The daughter was just 8 or 9 years old when this all started, and the essay lasted, as I said earlier, for decades. At this point, Chris Hamburg moved the girl and her mother from Washington to Idaho in order to avoid Child Protective Services. But even though the daughter had given birth, the essay continued, and this girl fell pregnant again at age 13. Both times, the girl gave birth to baby boys. Now, according to the girl, who's now a woman, her mother never put 2 and 2 together. The victim said her mother was unaware of what was happening, and because they knew a lot of relatives who had had children at ages 13, 14, and 15, it didn't strike the mother as all that odd. The girl didn't reveal the truth about who the father was until years later. Per the victim, when it was time for her to give birth, Hamburg would disappear. I bet he did. He didn't want to get busted. He'd only show back up once the baby was born. For this victim, the abuser began controlling her every move. He told her to lie about who fathered her kids, and it wasn't long before the girl was prevented from talking to or socializing with kids her own age. She and her mother weren't even allowed to talk to the neighbors. Girls said they were basically held captive inside.
That's interesting, and I like that she's bringing this up in this episode because this happens a lot. We just don't get national attention for cases all the time like this, or international, I should say. And criminals do play dumb, absolutely. And I can't wait to hear what is going to come out of this in court. What if Stearns thought that he would respect Maddie's wishes by putting her in the woods? I don't think he respected anybody or anything, but yeah, it's a good thought.
The house. So the years go by, and one day the victim's son, who was then 14, asked for a computer. This is when the victim decided to go online, and she began communicating about her life. She even met her future husband, and he helped her reconnect with family members who had been iced out by Chris Hamburg. At some point, the victim met an online confidant who, by coincidence, had been a victim of road rage at the hands.
Sam, he did his audio version. There's audio out there, and they took his phone, and then I'm sure they just went right over to Jen's house when they arrested him because he was like a vulture around the family. In hindsight, when you look at the body cam footage of him being in the office, the tax office, it's interesting. It's not interesting. It pisses me off, really, that he was in there with everybody being worried, and he's the one that took Maddie's life. So I don't know where he was arrested. If somebody knows, let me know. But he probably was at Jen's house. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure he was at Jen's house. He was at Jen's house. He was there the entire time that everyone was looking for her missing, and he's the one that took her life.
Of the victim's abuser. The road rage victim was also the daughter of a U.S. attorney. This story is like a Lifetime movie. The road rage lady convinced the SA victim to have her kid's DNA tested, and a warrant was eventually issued for Chris Hamburg's DNA. A paternity test confirmed that he had fathered the victim's 2 sons. The ages of the boys confirmed that the girl had been a minor when she became pregnant by Hamburg. The FBI then tracked Hamburg.
All right, this is another story, but it gives you a good idea of the flat tire. Let's talk about Maddie's biological father real quick, and then we're gonna hop off. We're at 2 hours on a pop-up live. I think we did fantastic. We've had almost 500 people in here the whole time. You guys are amazing. I love that you love real content. I love that you love things that are not conspiracy theories, and I just love this crime crew, and I'm so blessed to have every one of you.
The exact same thing. Maybe she did tell him on that Sunday night when she celebrated her very special 13th birthday. Who knows? Something triggered Madeline's death, and I suspect it might have been her finding her voice. Chris Hamburg's victim wanted to remain anonymous, but I would imagine she knows about Madeline's case, and I really wish we could talk to her to find out more about how this creep Hamburg managed to keep her silent, what he said to her when she was just 8 years old, what she thought about it at that age. A lot of people are wondering now, where was Madeline's biological father? How involved was he in his little girl's life? You'd think her bio dad would have been someone she could have confided in.
Now, if you go back to my videos, you'll see a lot more about Tyler. That's how I was brought to this case. This is what I was talking about this case. this is what I started with, was talking about this man, Tyler Wallace and Tatiana, the Wallace family and the Soto family. There's two sides to the families. Somebody went to the memorial site and left a note that was from the Soto family, and I just don't want someone to be attacked that goes there. If someone's out at the memorial site and they know it's a Soto family member, the Sotos have to grieve too. It was one of Maddie's aunts, but it wasn't Stephanie.
Certainly looks on a surface level in photos like a loving adult. I wonder how her birth father felt about his young daughter living in a home with another.
Well, we know now he doesn't talk much. He hasn't said much. He has talked, but he doesn't know what to feel about it in public, I should say. Behind the scenes, he's broken up. In public, he hasn't said much. That girl's an angel. She looks so much like her dad, and I wish that he would have had her.
Male grown-up. I would think that most loving adult fathers would have some concern when their young daughter is living with another man, a man they may not know very well. Maddie's father is Tyler Wallace, and Maddie was born on February 22nd of 2011. Tyler,
look at that picture. She's so beautiful. You guys, that makes me they found her pretty quickly. I'm sure, I mean, rigor mortis sets in fairly quickly. Decomposition, I don't think the weather was that hot where it was decomposing, but absolutely rigor mortis. The way they found her, the way the picture was leaked, the position she was in, I don't think decomp was there because the weather wasn't hot yet. It was in February.
married another woman, a lady named Tatiana, in April of that same year, 2011. So just a couple of months after Maddie was born. It's odd that Tyler married so soon after his daughter's birth. It's also sad because Maddie never had a chance to live full time with her dad. And then years later, Stephen Stern.
There you go. Then, but I don't think it was bad enough where I don't think it was too bad. Put it that way. Decomp, yeah. What kind of decomp? Different story when the weather's that way. Sometimes when it's in a later stage, you can't get any evidence, and I don't think it was that way. And it's sad to even talk about that while we have a picture of Maddie on there, but that's part of true crime, unfortunately.
Showed up in her life, and he clearly was not a man who looked at Maddie in a loving, paternal manner. If he had, he would not have destroyed her innocence and taken her life, allegedly. He still hasn't been charged with murder. I would say that Jen Soto, instead of calling Stephen Stearns Maddie's stepfather, should have called him her groomer. And I don't mean that he did her hair or her makeup. That would have been more apropos. And I wonder if Maddie ever felt rejected by her bio dad. When a father doesn't marry the mother of his child, it can make the child feel less than, perhaps not worthy. I think Stephen Stearns saw this hole in Maddie's heart and used it as a way to weasel in there and also into her bedroom. Guys like Stearns look for vulnerable kids like Maddie, and perhaps their mothers too, who may also feel less than and abandoned. That does not mean that it's Tyler's fault, by the way. I'm not blaming Tyler Wallace. Sometimes people create babies before they figure out if they're compatible with one another. It happens, and unfortunately, the child often grows up feeling a sense of inadequacy. And even if the bio dad has a loving relationship with the child, the kid may still wonder why he didn't marry their mom. By the way, I heard a psychologist on another show say that guys like 37-year-old Stephen Stearns don't typically start saying kids in their 30s. It usually starts much earlier, and there tend to be scores of victims in their wake. They also find jobs that allow them to interact with children. Is that why Stephen Stearns worked for Disney? Let me know what you think in the comments. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories.
And thank you, Bed Crime Stories, for sharing that. I just kind of pulled that out of my hat. What I had planned tonight was justice for Maddie and talking about bringing the peace of the families together and not attacking the family. Now that you know who the family is, you see a lot of people in the video, you know who they are. If you see them at the memorial, let them grieve. somebody did go out there with a note, and yeah, I mean, I don't like hate either, Christine Micro. I appreciate you for being on the channel tonight. I came on here because Madeline wants peace, and we don't want hate at all for anybody. And I appreciate having somebody to come on this channel and have a different opinion, and maybe you know the family or part of the family, or just completely are having another opinion than everyone else. But I'm glad that you're here, because nobody better attack you, because then they'll get kicked off of the channel as well. It could be a look of trauma. You're right. Again, thanks, Adam. I appreciate you. I love the beard, love the hat. I rock my hat when I'm out in Napa. She looks scared and nervous. Absolutely. The whole point of this is to say rest in peace, Maddie. All right. Now, if you guys want me to do this more often, and you want me to do some pop-up lives on a weekend for you, and come on and spend my time, and, spend my time with you and talk over things, just whatever, hang out, hit that like button so we can get good content and get better content and get people on the channel. Stacy, you're amazing. You have a great weekend. Till the next live. I got so much to tell you. I cannot wait for the next live to happen. And let's put this down there again one more time. Madeline Soto just wants peace. I can't imagine that she would want anything else. All right. On that note, she's gone. She's our angel. Let her guide us. Everyone have a wonderful night. I'll see you soon.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?